You don't open social media because you want to feel worse. You open it because you're bored. Because the line at the store is too long. Because the room is too quiet. Because for 1 second, you want to feel connected to something. And then, 10 minutes later, your mood has changed. Not because anything happened to you. Not because someone insulted you. Not because your life actually got worse. You just saw a few perfect lives, a few perfect bodies, a few perfect relationships, a few perfect mornings, and somehow your own normal Tuesday started feeling smaller. That is not random. That is the machine doing exactly what it was built to do. Here's the part nobody explains to you. Every platform you scroll is not showing you reality. It is showing you a leaderboard. A constant, silent ranking of bodies, incomes, relationships, vacations, and faces, updated every few seconds, and you are entered into this competition without ever agreeing to play. You don't feel bad because your life is bad. You feel bad because you just got compared to the best 5 seconds of 10,000 strangers, back to back, with no warning label. Think about what you actually saw the last time you opened an app for just a minute. A guy with a body that took him 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, and a strict diet you don't know about. A couple on a trip that cost more than your rent, funded by a job you don't see. A friend's spontaneous night out that took 90 minutes of retakes to look spontaneous. None of that is a lie exactly. It's just a highlight reel, edited, filtered, and timed to make you keep watching. But your brain doesn't process it as a highlight reel. Your brain processes it as information about how everyone else is doing right now. And by that measure, you are losing. But the strangest part is this: even when you know it's fake, it still works on you. You can say out loud, "I know this is curated," and your mood still drops. Knowing the trick doesn't cancel the trick. That's not a personal failure. That's just how comparison works in a brain that evolved to judge status inside a village of maybe 150 people, not a feed of a billion strangers. So here's the mechanism. Your brain is running an old status tracking system that was built for tribes, and you've fed it a dataset the size of the planet. It was never built to survive that. It was built to look around a small group and ask, "Where do I stand?" Now it looks around an infinite group and gets the same answer every time: behind. And this is where it gets worse. It's not only about comparison. It's about what the platform trains you to expect from your own life afterward. Real life doesn't move like a feed. Real life has boring stretches, dead air, waiting rooms, slow mornings, quiet dinners. But your feed has none of that. It's cut, edited, and pasted to give you a small hit of stimulation every few seconds. A joke, a shock, a beautiful face, a plot twist, another joke. So when you put the phone down and go back to actual life feels unbearably slow. Not because your life got worse. Because your baseline for interesting just got hijacked by something engineered to be more interesting than anything real could ever be. This is why a walk outside can feel flat now. Why a conversation with your family can feel like it's dragging. Why silence, which used to just be silence, now feels like something's wrong. You didn't get boring. Your dopamine baseline got recalibrated by a feed with a full-time team optimizing it to be faster than your actual life. Here's an example you've probably lived. You post something you're proud of. A photo, a thought, a project. You tell yourself you don't care about the numbers. Then you check it 4 times in the next hour anyway. Not because you're shallow. Because the app turned your self-expression into a slot machine, and slot machines don't care how smart you are. You pull the lever, you wait, and if nothing comes back, some part of you quietly logs it as rejection, even if you never say that out loud. And if it does well, that doesn't fix it either. It just resets the bar higher for next time. The feeling never lands, it just moves the target. There's a darkly funny detail buried in all this. The people you envy most online are very often doing the exact same thing you are, at the exact same time, comparing themselves to someone else's highlight reel, while you're busy comparing yourself to theirs. Everyone is standing in a hall of mirrors, feeling smaller than the person next to them, and the person next to them is feeling smaller too. Nobody at the party is actually winning the party. The problem is not that you are weak, or addicted, or lack discipline. The problem is that you're a normal human being placed inside a system explicitly engineered by very well-paid people whose job is to keep you scrolling longer than you intended. That's not a metaphor. That is a literal job title at these companies. You are not failing a test you were supposed to pass. You are reacting exactly the way any brain would react to a machine built to exploit exactly your instincts. Now here's the part that actually matters, the part underneath the algorithm talk. This isn't really about apps. It's about connection. You don't crave the scrolling. You crave the feeling scrolling promises and almost never delivers, which is being seen, being included, matching to someone. That's why a message from an actual friend feels different from 100 likes from strangers. One is contact. The other is static shaped like contact. And that's the quiet, uncomfortable truth a lot of people carry and don't say out loud. You can have 300 followers and feel more alone than someone with 3 real friends and no account at all. Numbers went up. Loneliness didn't move. That gap is where the exhaustion lives, performing a version of connected while actually being tired, behind, and unseen. So let's put this together simply. You're not comparing your life to other lives. You're comparing your unedited footage to everyone else's greatest hits. Your brain, built for small tribes, can't tell the difference between a real threat to your status and a filtered photo, so it reacts the same way either time. The app doesn't need you to feel bad specifically. It needs you to keep opening it, and feeling slightly restless, slightly behind, slightly not enough turns out to be a very efficient way to keep you doing that. None of this means throw your phone in a lake and go live in the woods. That's not the point, and honestly, that advice is its own kind of fake positivity. The point is smaller and harder. Notice the mechanism while it's happening. Notice when a normal Tuesday starts feeling small right after you closed an app. That feeling is not a verdict on your life. It's a receipt from a system that profits off your attention. Your life was never actually behind. You were just standing next to a highlight reel and mistaking it for a scoreboard. If this felt a little too accurate, you already know what to do. Subscribe for more brutally honest breakdowns of modern life.